Hi, today I want to show you how you can publish your Despia Android application to the Google Play Store. Now, today we're going to cover the manual publishing process where we're going to use Android Studio to do exactly that. And it may sound a little bit complicated, but it's actually just a few clicks and we're going to go through the whole process together step by step. So first of all, here are a few things that we need to make sure that we have up and running. We want to make sure that we have Android Studio installed on our computer. That's available for Mac and Windows. I do think also there are versions for Linux available in case you're one of the Linux users. Now, you just want to make sure that you have that installed. Now, the second thing that we need is we need to have a Despia project that has an Android license available. Now, I have one, as you can see right inside of here, and I want to click on Export Android Project. Now, at some point, we will probably have something looking like the iOS version where you have that pop up here with export code or auto publish, because we're still working on automated publishing using Android, and that is coming very soon. But now we're just going to go with the manual route, which we have it set up that you'll be able to make your first version manually, and then the second version you can make auto-publish, and you can just iterate between those. And exporting that and bringing that to Android Studio also gives you the ability to edit the code and add features there yourself if you want to extend the functionality. That's a beautiful thing because it's written in Java, so you can do that in Android Studio. So you get the best of Despia and the best of the Android Studio, Java community. But now we got the zip file downloaded. That is our mobile application, as you can see right inside of here. And we just simply want to open the zip file. This will give us this folder. That's our Android application. Now, I do want to rename this. And I want to make a minus here. And I want to just put my app name, Code Keeper. And then I just do V1 as an example. Code Keeper V1. Now, I'm going to open, as you can see, I want to open, as you can see, Android Studio. And I want to go now and I want to drop my folder inside of Android Studio. And now I want to make sure that I trust the project. Now, and it's going to, I already played around with it a little bit. Let's close a few things here. There you go. And now it's going to index everything. As you can see, it's going to do the indexing task. So this can always take a little bit because we're building those things locally on our machine. Cool thing is in Android Studio, you also have access to Gemini. So the beautiful thing where Despia gives you access to, because you can export the code, you can ask Gemini, kind of like if you feel confident in doing that, to fine tune your Despia app and maybe add features that we are not offering yet. But that is always cool. So what we could now do in Android Studio, we could now press on build and we could build that application as well. So let's just leave a little bit space because we need to work with some files. But as you can see, we can test now that application on our device. And how do you like this app? Maybe later and all that, right? So I have that application running on a simulated device. But now we actually want to get it to the Android store. So that is pretty simple. We need to now go on the top, and I hope you can see that in the top border, at least on Mac, there is an option called Build. So if you go on Build here, and you go to Generate Signed App Bundle /APK, we want to use App Bundle because APK works if you want to have it installed outside of the Google Play Store, but as of the latest updates I've looked at, you actually can only now upload app bundles to the App Store, to the Google Play Store. They're not going to allow APKs anymore. If you try to upload an APK, it's going to throw an error. So we want to make sure that we have the latest version that is an Android app bundle. So we're going to go on next. And now here's where it gets quite confusing for Android. You do need to have a key store path. Now, if you're using Despia to make an update to your existing application, you want to now choose your existing key store path here. And I don't have one, but you would want to choose your existing key store path, and you want to put in your key store password, your key alias, and your key password. If you don't have an existing Android application where you want to publish an update, you want to create a new key store path here. Let's just exit out of this real quick. Why is that important? You need this key store path file in order to update your Android application. If you lose this key store path file, you're in some trouble because then you can't update your application, and that is a big problem. So you want to make sure that you store that in a secure location. And if you already have an existing one, make sure you have updates and updates and updates of the updates, and load your existing one in here and put your password and your alias in here. If you already have one, you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't have one already, you want to make sure that you really pay attention to those steps that we're going to do right now. So first of all, we want to create a new folder on our desktop. And I want to rename this, and I want to call this Android Studio Key Store Path. So I have Android Studio Key Store Path. This will be the folder where I will store all my, my keys inside of here to access my applications. So I'm going to go now, and you could have multiple keys in one key store, which is possible. I personally do like having multiple key stores for each app, just to make sure I'm not messing something up in case I'm working with multiple apps together. But that is because I don't want every Despia app in one key store, because that's going to sound like a nightmare. If one file gets lost, everything is gone. So I do have now my key store folder inside of here. This is for the key store path. So the key store is basically the vault where you store your secret keys. And the key store itself will have a password to be able to be accessed. That's what you put in here. And the key inside of the key store, the key inside of the vault, has a name. You will put that name in here, probably your app name, right? Because it is intended that you can have multiple apps, multiple keys for multiple apps in one key store. The key store is not related to the app, but I do like to make it related to the app to make sure I'm not messing something up with multiple projects. Very important to note. And then you would have the password to unlock the key in the vault, the key store. Now, let's create a new key store here. So we want to select a key store path. I want it to go in this folder so I have it all organized. So for this, I'm going to click on this icon here, and I'm going to drop my folder in here so it goes to this destination. It'll go in here as untitled. That is okay. We could also go back in here, and I could save this as, for example, key store and then code keeper, because this is per app, key store, code keeper, or this would actually be the key. Or no, actually, this would be the key store. So, key store, code keeper. And then I put my folder in here, and I will save this as. So this will be the key store path. Example, the key store in here is supposed to normally be for multiple applications, but I do like having this related per application. So you would probably make this key store Android if you run multiple apps, but I don't like the risk of having the most important keys to access all my apps in one file, because I'm afraid to lose that one file, and I'd rather lose one app than 5 or something like that. So I do like the idea of having key store paths for each file with one key in them to unlock that app. But in this example, we're going to use my preferred method of doing that, which is having a key store per app with the key for that app inside of there. But if this is confusing, please feel free to ask the Despia customer support. We're always happy to help you. We're always happy to explain things, narrow things down, and even help you step by step in a Zoom meeting or whatever in office hours to make sure that we get you all set up and we make sure that everything is how it's supposed to be. So that is the great benefit of using Despia. You get that concierge level support. But now we have our key store here, and we want to give that key store a password. Now, I do like giving everything in here the same password, just because I don't want to be, forgetting my password. But what we want to do in here, this password is Despia123, and this will be Despia. This will be Despia Despia 1, 2, 3. Here you go. And then I want to give this an alias. This is the name of the key that's in the key store path, the vault containing all our secret keys. So this would probably be the app name, Code Keeper. Here you go, Code Keeper. And then I want to give this a password. I like to give it the same password like here, because we do have it per app anyway. So we do Despia 1, 2, 3. And then I do Despia 1, 2, 3. And now I want to put my information inside of here. So I can do, I could fill in my information. Despia. You will put in your first last name, then your company, your organizational unit. That would be probably something like Despia.com, and then your organization, Despia, and then city or location, Los Angeles, Angeles, here you go, state and province, California, and then country code, US. You'll fill this out with your information. This would be your first last name. This would be your website, or whatever you want to reference this on, and then your organization, probably your your established business name, and then your city or location, province or state, and your country code in 2 letters, so like US, something like that, MX, something like that. So you do have that, and we will expect that file to be put inside of here when we click on OK. So now we have our key store path, and I would ideally want to remember those passwords here for the key store password and the key alias and the key password. So this is what is needed. You need to make sure to back up that file, put it on Google Drive, save it everywhere, because if you don't have this file, you can't update your app. That's very important. So now we can go on next, and I want to make this a release version because I want this to go to the Google Play Store. So I'm going to check release, and we're going to create this. Now it's going to build our APK that is ready, our signed APK for release, that we can just simply drag into the Google Play Store, click publish, and we are good to go. And it's actually pretty simple. So if we click in here, you see in this key store path, right in here, we have the key store code keeper, and we have a password to unlock this file. And inside of this file, there is the key for this specific application that then has a password too. But what is important to note is that, what we want to do is we want to ideally have a key store path per application just to make sure that nothing gets lost. But now if we look at here, we can click on locate, and this will help us locate the Android app bundle that we built. We want to probably drag this to our desktop so that we have this available for us to drag it into the Google Play Store. And that's actually everything that we need to do inside of Android Studio. So we can close that. And now we want to go to the Android store. So now we want to go in here, and we want to create a new app. We want to go to the Google Play console, make sure that we have registered, and we want to click on create app inside of here. And this app will be called Code Keeper as an example. And this will be an app, and this will be free, or you could make it paid if you want, right? But this will be free. And then I will just agree those things inside of here. And what we're then going to do is we're going to wait a little bit while this is loading. It will always take a little bit. And then we will need to kind of like create some showcase information for that app. So now we see we got kind of like a to-do list on what we need to do. So we could add testers to this if you want to test this on your Android device. You could do that as well, but we can just, go back here and set up your app. So there are a few tasks. We want to set up our privacy policy here. I don't have one, but we'll just take their, example one here, and we're going to save that. Beautiful. So now it's going to be saved. We always have to go back to the dashboard, and then we do app access. So in here, it'll ask us a few questions. To review your app, Google must be able to access all parts of it. All functionality in my app is available without any access restrictions, or all or some functionality of my app is restricted. So you will need to tell them and give them information how they can log into your app to test your app. For example, in here, it's a free app. You can sign up. There is no paid access. If you have paid access, you want to give them a password so that they can check on that. But we're going to save that here. And now we can go back to our to-do list and continue. I do like how Android does it because they actually give you to-do lists so you're not lost at things. Now it says, does this app contain ads? No, this app doesn't contain ads. Right, we want to go back to the dashboard here, go with H rating. Now we have to fill out a questionnaire and do all those things. We can skip those things because, those are pretty self-explanatory. Most of those things are just questionnaires. Are you tracking that data? How are you sharing that data? But now, under this, manage how your app is organized and represented, this is where it gets really interesting. We want to go on select an app category and provide contact information. You want to select your category inside of here, add tags, put some contact information, and do all those things. But, that is something you can pretty easily do yourself. What is also that you want to look into is set up your store listing. So we want to have a short description, a full description, graphics. Interesting is that compared to iOS, Apple will take the graphics from your file and show them as your app icon on the store. Android is going to do it a little bit different. They're going to take the file that you upload as an icon to show that to the user on the store. So your app could kind of like have a different persona on the App Store and then change the icon when they download it, which is technically possible. I don't know if that's a valid use case though. But in here, we want to do a short description. Let's say, keep your code snippets organized. Here you go. Keep your code snippets organized. Have you ever lost any important code snippets that ChatGPT made for you? Code Keeper is here to solve that. Manage all your code snippets in one place on your mobile phone, powered by VS Code. That may get us actually into IP trouble. Powered by an editor looking like VS Code. We'll put that in quotes to make sure. There you go. So that's a very bad description, but it gets to the point. So now we want to upload our app icon. I already have something prepared. It needs to be 512 by 512. So we want to upload that inside of here, just like that. And then what we want to do is we want to also add a feature graphic. Now I just have a black screen here, but you can style that and do all that crazy stuff in Canva or Photoshop. You can even add a video to your application, pretty cool. And then you need to update at least phone screenshots. That's mandatory. So you need to have 2 at least. Now for this, we can go and open back Android Studio, build our app again. And now we're going to connect to the emulator, right, where we simulate the app. And I can simply, you want to open that here. We'll make a screenshot here of the start screen, for example. I don't know if we want to do that. Here you go. We'll make a screenshot of the start screen. That's a screenshot. We'll save that. Actually, let's just create a new folder here. We'll do new folder. And I will do, I'm going to rename this Code Keeper screenshots. Code Keeper screenshots. With Android, you're working with a lot of folders. I'm going to tell you that. with Android, there are a lot of folders you're going to use. But it's nice. Here you go. So we got CodeKeeper screenshots. We got that here, and I'm going to now save this file, dump my folder in here, add it to the folder. Beautiful. Let's put an email in here, andreas@toddle.dev. At toddle.dev, we're going to have him log in, and then we're going to make another screenshot. I don't think this is going to be the best screenshots, but we need to get screenshots for here. So we'll put that screenshot inside of here, and now we have those 2 screenshots in our folder. So we go back to the Android App Store or Android Play Store. We're putting our screenshots inside of here, and that's everything we need to do. Here you go. They're being uploaded. Then we could add tablet, but that's not mandatory. And we're going to now save everything. It'll take a little bit. Now we see the icon is popping up over here. And then, as you can see, we're good on that front. So we can go back with our to-do list here. We see we're done with those things. We would have to provide some minor information. But now we could already... We can't already release the app because all those information are still missing. But you get the idea. You would have to complete those. But then you were to go to tests and releases. You would go to release overview, and you would go inside of here. Oh, no, you would go to production actually. My bad. You would go to production. You could also go to testing to do a test release inside of here, right? Upload that. It's going to be pretty much the same process, but for production, so meaning sending this to the App Store or to the Google Play Store, you're going to go to create new release, and you're going to now upload your app release, your Android app bundle, AAB. It's going to upload the app bundle, and there you have it right inside of here. And it's different because with Android, they just let you upload any file to their store by doing this. With iOS, you have to get it from Xcode to the store or with our automation. That's why we started building the automation for Apple, because actually getting the app to the store is a little bit more complicated than with Apple. But you need a different package name because com.despia.codekeeper is already used by another application. So this is great because I already did I already played around with that publishing process before this video, but let's pretend that I haven't already started a half-finished project and abandoned it and not deleted it yet, and this would be successful here. We would put our release name. This would be, I don't know, we suggest, based on the bundle, this could be 3.0.1. Could ideally be the one that you have in the Despia editor here, or just copy that and put it over here. There you have it. And then I would go on next. But as you can see, it's not letting me do that because I have a few errors because that bundle, the name is already used by another one. And because I need to complete all that questionnaires and I need to continue more questionnaires. But, besides having to complete some of those questionnaires and deleting the app I messed up, let's actually do that real quick because that already has the bundle ID. Let's delete this app that I already played around with. And we can go back to CodeKeeper, and we can go to test and release, production. And then we will be able to, create a new release. Why doesn't it let me create a new release? Create a new release, roll out, or discard your current draft release. Oh, let's go here, release overview. I will just go to my current release, and then I will delete this, and I will upload it again, and that should work. Let's hope and pray. Please. It's good. Usually it's a good sign if something takes long, so... errors are the ones that occur quick. Success is the things that takes time. So we'll see. I have a good feeling about this. Maybe it's taking a little bit too long. Now I got a little bit... Here you go. That was successful. There you have it. Even got an email. I don't know if it's related to this, though. But now we will go on next. We have that release name. Here you go. Now we do see that there are 2 errors, right? That error is because we have to go to the dashboard and I have to complete that to-do list with age rating, target audience, right? Say if this, is news related, if this is an app owned by the government, you got to put some information inside of here. But besides that, if we go to production, if we go to release overview and we see the latest release here, this is the release that we created. We see that we have that uploaded. And if I go on next, inside of here, we're going to see another error that is no countries or regions have been selected for this track. You would go and learn more and you would fill this out. This is one of the questionnaires that we still have to do. But then you would save that release and then from there you will be able to publish that to the store. So that is it in a nutshell. Let's do the boring stuff now and go through the to-do list. So we add a content rating here. And I will go and continue with the one that I have. I will put team at Despia.com. Team at Despia.com. The category is all other types of apps. I agree. Next. Downloaded app. Does your app contain any ratings related to... I'm not allowed to say that on YouTube. No. User content sharing. Does your app natively allow users to interact or exchange content with others through voice communication, text, sharing images and audio? Yes, it does. Is shared user-generated content the primary source of content in the app? Yes. Does the app permit the user sharing nudity? No. So Android is pretty open in terms of those apps, surprisingly. Apple is not. Does the app permit the public sharing of real-world graphic violence outside of newsworthy content? No. Does your app include the ability to block users or user-generated content? I should say yes. Does the app include the ability to report users or user-generated content? I should say yes. Does the app include chat moderation? I should say yes. Can interactions in the app be limited to invited friends only? No. Online content, does the app include or promote content that isn't part of the initial app download? No. Promotion or sale of age restrictions? Does the app focus on promoting or selling items or activity? No. Malicious. Does the app share the user's current or precise physical locations with others? No. Does the app allow users to purchase digital goods? No or yes, depends. No, but not in this case. Does the app include cash rewards, gift cards, play to earn features, converting cryptocurrency rewards whatsoever? No. Is the app a web browser or search engine? No. Is the app primarily a news or educational product? No. So we do have most of that filled out here, right? Let's look at that. Completed. I should be able to go on next, but it won't let me do that. So what's going on here? Did I forgot to check something? Let's save this. Okay, and now I can go on next. Beautiful. So it's 12 plus, so we can save this. Beautiful. So now we have that set up. Let's go back to the dashboard, and now we do target audience. Target audience 18 and over. Now we don't need to restrict that from being used by minors, and then we will save that. Now we'll just do a speed run through because those things are pretty self-explanatory. And then we do news apps. Is your app a news app? No. Here you go. And that is it. Now we can go back to the dashboard and we go to data safety. That is going to be a little bit more intense. Does your app collect or share any of the required user data types? Yes. Is all of the user data collected by your app encrypted in transit? No. Which of the following methods of account creation does your app support? Select the ones that apply. Username and password. Add a link where users can request to delete the data associated. And that link would be, you want to put something real in here where they can request their data to be deleted, https://Despia.com. And I'm going, do you provide a way for users to request that some of their data is deleted without requiring them to delete their account? No. Oh, I should be yes here. Oh, is all of your content? No. Username, password, https://Despia.com. Here you go. No, but user data is automatically deleted within 90 days. No, they can't delete their data. Additional badges. Okay, we're going next. Here you go. And then we do precise location. And then personal info. We do name, email address, user IDs, phone number, maybe their address, right? Race and ethnicity, we don't do that. Sexual orientation, political, religious beliefs, I would not check them if you don't use them, right? Because they're probably going to make it hard to get your app on the store. And then we're going to have in here financial info, user payment info, purchase history probably. We don't do the credit score. And we're going to expand on that. Health and fitness, we don't do any of that. I mean, depends on what your app is doing. You want to adjust that. Then we have messages. We're not getting any of their messages. Photos, we will have access to their photos and videos. Audio files, we will have access to music files, voice or sound recordings. And then files and docs, they will be able to put files into Despia and upload them if the app requires it and has that functionality. Calendar, they will be able, Despia has a calendar integration. Context, we don't have access to the contacts, so we don't need that. App activity, app interactions, in-app purchase history, not installed apps. That is it. And then web browsing, we won't have their web browsing history. I think that's kind of creepy. We don't have that feature. And then we have app info and performance, crash logs, diagnostics probably, right? And then device ID and other IDs. Despia will be tracking the unique device ID to help you prevent abuse within your application. So we're going to go on next. And there you go. We got more things. Yeah, that looks good. What do we need to do here? Next to each of the data shares, select. Okay, let's click on here. Okay, so we have to now add more information to those items inside of here. Next to each user data type your app collects or shares, select start to answer questions about how the data is used and handled. To change that user data types that are selected, go back to the previous step. So I go in here, name, collected, this data is transmitted off the user's device. Yeah, this is collected. And then is this data processed? Processing data means accessing the user data while it is only stored in memory. No, we will send that to the server. Is the data required for your app, or can users choose between? No, data collection is required. App functionality, always say app functionality, unless it's not app functionality. And then we continue. This is going to be a long thing with privacy. We'll do collected. Yes, the data is no, we will send it to the server. Data is required. App functionality. Here you go. Address. It's going to be collected. No. And then app functionality. And yeah, it's required. Here you go. Then phone number. We will have collected. Yes. The data is stored on the server. Yes, it's required, and it's for analytics, as an example. And then financial info, purchase history. This is shared for app functionality, as an example. We don't actually have access to that, but actually purchase history is in-app purchase history. We need that for functionality. So we do have location. We'll put that in here. Precise location is collected. Shared is transmitted to a third party, either on or off the user's device. No. And then we have in here, this is collected. Yes, this collected data is not processed. It's stored on our server. This is what this last option means. We start it on our server. It's not just locally on the device. And then data collection is required. Yes, for app functionality, we need the location as an example. And then photos and videos. So photos, same thing. This is collected. And then we do no. And then we do the first one. And then we do app functionality. And then we do this again inside of here where we do this is collected. It's sent to the server, and then we do this, and we do app functionality, and we continue, and then we go with audio files, voice or sound recordings. It's collected, it's start to the server, and that is required for app functionality. And then music files, we're going to go collected, no, sent to the server, yes, required for app functionality. And then we're going to go with calendar events. We do collected. Yes, and then we do yes, this is required for app functionality. And then, what did I do? Here you go. I did add that in here. Oh yeah, it's collected. Here you go. Beautiful. Then we have app info and performance. Crash logs are collected. They're actually on the user device mainly. Data collection is required. Yeah, this is required, and it's for app functionality. Yeah, that's for app functionality. Then we do diagnostics. This is collected. This is mainly on the device. Unless you send those, then you have to adjust that option. And then users, actually, this is data processed, so it's on the device. It is required, and this is for app functionality to improve the experience. It could actually be considered analytics as well, but doesn't really matter. This is just a mock-up anyway. Files and docs. We got files and docs here. This is collected, and we're going to say, yeah, they are collected, sent to the server, and then data collection is required for app functionality. Here you go. And then we have app activity, app interactions, collected, sent to the server for app functionality. We do in-app purchase, collected, on the server, required, app functionality. Here you go, user ID, and then we do collected, sent to the server, required, app functionality. Then we do next, and we'll save this. And now we're good. We could also edit those things inside of here, but that seems to be saved. So now we are done with this. Now we need to look at government apps. Is your app developed by or behalf of a government? No. Here you go. We're going to go back to the dashboard, and we're going to go to financial features, bank or loans. Select all of the financial features that your app provides. Personal loans, probably not at all. Payments and transfer, mobile payments and digital wallets, no. Money transfers or wire services, no. Purchase agreements, buy now, pay later, no. Trading and funds, no. Support services, no. My app does not provide any financial services. In this example, yes, please just fill out what matches your application. We'll go next. We'll save this. Here you go. Now we're good. We want to go back to our application here, and we need to check health. We're not checking any health data in this application. Just feel free to fill out what matches your application. So we're done with all of those things inside of here. So now we need to select an app category. So I can go on edit here and select a category that is, let's see, education. We'll save that. Here you go. We'll close that. And then I would add the email and the phone number. So here you go. Let's get that all set up. We'll do Android at Despia.com. Android at Despia.com. And then we're going to get the company phone number here. Where is that? Here you go. So we'll do +1. Put that all in here. Beautiful. Website, https://despia.com. We're going to save this and continue. Yes, we're good. Let's close that here. So we got that beautiful advertise my app outside of the App Store, outside of the Google Play Store. Absolutely. We always like free advertisement. Beautiful. So now we see we're good on that. So we can go back to test and releases, go to release overview, look at our release here, right? And we can now go on next on this release, and it's going to run. And there's one error left. No countries or regions have been selected for this track. Add at least one country or region to roll out this release. So we would have to go and adjust that. Let's go add here. So we have releases. Let's look at the details here. Let's go on Explore App Bundle. We got the app bundle, download, compressions, test and release. Release and overview. So we need to allow this. Let's allow this first in the United States, for example. So we do United. Oh, it's probably all the way at the end. United States. And I can't just click that. So I probably need to look at their documentation, because they did change quite of their UI the last time I was at Google Play Console a year ago. So we probably want to look at the documentation that they sent us, right? So let's continue with that. Let's go on next here. And let's look at that error, and we'll learn more about it and how to do that. So what we need to do, country targeting in addition, app availability, go to the production page, select countries and regions tab. So we go to production. That's the wrong account. We'll take that. And we will go back to their documentation. We go to production. Damn it. I hate Google. I want this one. Yes. Okay, let's go back to let's look at their documentation here. So open Play Console and select the app you want to manage availability for. We will open the application. Here you go. And then we want to go to the production tab. So we go to production. Here you go. And then what we're doing now, we add countries and regions tab. So we're, wrong tab. We're on production, and we go countries and regions. Here you go. And then we add a country or region. Beautiful. So we'll take, for now, the United States. Here you go, United States. We'll save that as an example. You can add as many as you want. Probably want to make that internationally available. But then we can go to releases here. And we can go to edit release, and then we want to go on next. And then I see 2 warnings. Your app cannot be published yet. Complete this step. This because my account is not validated yet, because I still have to validate my identity. So that's something that is outside of here. This app bundle contains native code. You've not uploaded debug symbols. We recommend just ignore that stuff. That's just like you're not following best practices or whatever. But we would now save this bundle here. We're good to go because they're just warnings, no errors. And now I would go to the overview, right? I'm going to skip a few things here. Go to publishing overview. And now it says those 2 issues, right? But now from this publishing overview, you would be able to publish the application. Now, see, you have production, you have open testing, you can do alpha testing, you have your default App Store listing. You could go in here, always edit that, and then go back, and then you can view your issues here. Incomplete advertising ID declaration. You can complete that declaration and say, does your app include advertising ID? No, for example, right? Then we can go back to the overview and fix those issues. There's 2 more issues. Oh, we did update that though. Update declaration. We could also say yes. App functionality. Because I do think we do have some code in there. Here you go. And then we do privacy policy page returns a page not found error. We want to update that privacy policy page then. They're smart. They're smarter than Apple. So let's go to... here you go. Reach end devices. No. Grow users. Store presence. Store listings. Let's look at that. Or where was the thing again with... Oh, let's look at actually at the to-do list. Oh, they removed the to-do list. Shit. Let's see. There are issues. Let's expand on that here. View details. We can do save and continue. We would have to just go back and update that. But you see, I can't send the changes for review right now because there are some issues with your account, which means you can't publish your app or send updates to review. That is because I have not validated my account yet. But what I would do, I would click on send 11 changes for review, click on here, and it would be sent to app review, and then it would be sent to the Google Play Store. Now, that's pretty much it. Now, the first 15 minutes, that were actually the important part in how you build that package. The rest is just like, just red tape where you have to, do the legal compliance stuff and share information with them and do all that other stuff. But that's basically how you get your Despia application into the publishing process, get it sent to the Google Play Store. And if you have any questions with that, please feel free to reach out to our customer support. We're always happy to help. We're here to help you make sure that your app gets sent successfully to the App Store and Google Play Store. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'll be able to help you a lot with everything. And thank you so much for your interest in Despia. Thank you so much for purchasing a license. I really appreciate that. And I just want you to know that we're here to help you, and we're here. So please make good use of our support because we really want you to succeed with your Despia mobile application. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time that we spent together today, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much for choosing Despia. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. Bye.